Hi, this is Ambi from Board Game Blitz, and today I'm going to talk about all the games I played in August. So I track my plays on Board Game Geek using the app BG Stats, which links to it, and that's where I get all of the stats of the games that I've played. I'm actually recording this a couple days before the end of August, so the play stats might be a little off depending on what my kids choose as their bedtime story, since we get lots of plays of the My First Adventure series. But currently I have 43 plays of 22 different games, and it's probably going to stay at the 22 different games. The games that I played the most, I already hinted to, are My First Adventure series. I actually got a couple of new ones in the series. I've talked about this a lot before, but my kids played My First Adventure Finding the Dragon a lot. It's a choose your own adventure RPG. And so there are others in the series that I actually ordered from the UK, and I talked about this on the podcast as well. But My First Adventure Journey to Ochreland and My First Adventure Discovering Atlantis, I've read those now a lot. So my kids have been reading those, rotating between them now as their bedtime story. It's the same system, but different stories. And so I'm enjoying having variety in that. Lots of plays of not new newbie games. We finished up MicroMacro Crime City Full House. All of the scenarios, we're done with that now. It's a murder mystery or mystery solving, but looking at pictures like Where's Waldo style. I had 3 plays of Cross Clues, which is a cooperative real-time word party game. 2 plays of Letter Jam, which is a cooperative word deduction game, where you're trying to figure out the letters that you have and then how to make those into a word. 1 play of Mahjong with our new Mahjong set. I've also been playing Mahjong Soul a lot, but I don't log those plays. That's a digital version of Mahjong. I had 1 play of Connected Clues, which is a party game. I got it as a review copy a while ago, where you're trying to figure out the connection of 2 different phrases, that have the same word in between them, like fast food and food fight. So then you try to guess fast food fight, and there's one person giving the clue on them. 1 play of Letters from Whitechapel, which is a 1 versus many hidden movement game. We hadn't played this in a while, and it turns out we'd been playing wrong, I think. It's one of my favorite games still, but in the game, 1 player is Jack the Ripper, and the other people are the police investigators, and we had been playing a rule wrong, which made it easier for the investigators to catch Jack the Ripper. And so we played correctly this time, and then Jack the Ripper won, but it was super close. But it's hidden movement, deduction, pure that, because once you catch Jack the Ripper, then the game's over. There's nothing else. So he's moving secretly, and then we're trying to find clues of where he went. And so I really like that 1 versus many deduction type game. I also played 1 game of Unlock Game Adventures. Unlock is a series of escape room games that are replayable. Well, not replayable by yourself because you know all the things, but they're cards and you use an app, so nothing's destroyed. But each box has 3 different escape rooms, and so Game Adventures is based on different games themed around different board games. And so there was Ticket to Ride, Mysterium, and Pandemic. We did Pandemic this month, and I think that was my favorite of the set. There was 1 puzzle that didn't make sense for us at all, but the other ones, I think it was fun. Also played a play of Fun Facts, which is a party game that's kind of like a cooperative timeline. You're putting numbers based on questions and then trying to put them in order. I played 1 play of Illiterati, which I got as a review copy and talked about already on the podcast. That's a cooperative word building game where you have little letter tiles and you're trying to build words. I played 1 play of 13 Words, which is a cooperative word party game where you're trying to find the best match of a word, and then everyone else is trying to pick the same match that you picked. And then 1 play of Durian, which I talked about a lot before, but haven't played in a while. It's a bluffing game that's kind of like Liar's Dice-ish, but you don't see your own card, you see everyone else's stuff. Alright, so that was a lot of old games. Now onto some new games. I played KuZOOkA twice. I hadn't heard of this game, but this is a cooperative game themed around your animals trying to escape a zoo. And this is kind of like a cooperative Liar's Dice. So there's a deck of cards that have different colored cards, and then each person gets a hand of so many cards. And so on your turn, you're trying to bet along this path that's increasing, it has 1 red, or then 2 orange, or 1 yellow, or something. And so you're putting your animal marker on that path to say that collectively we have that many of that color. But you have to place further on the path than the last person who placed, so you have to keep saying more and more, which can get hard because you have maybe 1 red and 2 purple or something, and so maybe you put 2 purple, but then the next person is going to put 3 orange, and then they're okay, wait, maybe I have an orange, should I put 4 orange, or should I go back to purple? And you're trying to communicate information about your hand, but also at some point someone's going to say, okay, I think this is it. And so you try to get it an exact match because then you'll get a bonus, but you don't want to bet more than you have collectively. So it can be pretty hard, and by the end of the 7th round, you want to be able to get all the way to the end of the path to get out of the zoo. And sometimes you can't actually do that depending on how the cards are dealt. But like if you do well in your previous rounds, you can get extra cards into the deck and level up and stuff. So you want to like prepare for the final round in order to escape the zoo. I thought it was pretty fun, but like the components, the little animal meeples that there were that you place onto the board were kind of hard to tell what they were and kind of hard to differentiate. So that made it kind of harder to see what was going on. I also played one play of DrawnTogetherGame, which is a prototype that I got from the designer Bez. It's a coloring game. It's like a 2-player kind of area control-ish coloring game where you're actually coloring in these pictures. It's kind of like a stained glass coloring sheet with outlines, but the pictures can be like either a fish or a car. And so it has kind of shapes that make both of those overlapping. And so on your turn, you're picking a color and then coloring in 1 or 2 shapes, and then the other person will color in shapes, and you're trying to get it to look like whatever your thing is. So one person's trying to get it to look like a fish, the other person's trying to get it to look like a car. I actually played with my child, my 3-year-old, so he didn't actually understand the competitive nature of it that much. He was just having fun trying to make it look like a car, and I was kind of like coloring along with him, and he was like, oh, it can be like a fish car. Here's the tail of the car and stuff. But it was fun, and we made like a cool art piece that's now hanging on our fridge. I also played one play of Cheese Master, which is a speed game where there's 3 dice that you're rolling and you're trying to count the number of cheese that are there and do that the fastest. So the dice have pictures of cheese, like 1 or 2 or 3 cheese slices, and then mice and cats. And so like the mice will eat the cheese and the cat will eat the mouse, so those kind of cancel out. So you have to like see what the result is and then calculate how much cheese is there and then grab the number. So yeah, it's a quick, easy speed game. There's also advanced rules that we didn't play by. It was kind of hard sometimes to see like the things on the dice because like the cheese kind of blended into the color of the dice. The dice were all yellow, which was weird. Otherwise, it's a fun speed game. I also played one play of Glitch Squad, which is a review copy, which I will talk about on the podcast at some point. But Glitch Squad is a team word clue giving game. So the theme of the game is that you're spies or something, I don't know. But there's a cat called Glitch who like walks over the keyboard when you're getting the clues and messes up one of the clues. So each person has their own password that they're trying to guess. It's going to be in this sleeve, and it's like 1 letter at a time. It gets revealed if you do well each round. So each round, each person is going to have a piece of evidence, which is a different card, a different word they're trying to guess, and they're writing clues for their other teammate to guess. And so each person has all this, and each person has the clues, and they're writing 3 clues down. And then you pass it to someone on the other team, and they're going to glitch one of the clues. So that means they'll remove one of the clues that you wrote and then add in their own clue. And they're trying to glitch it to make it seem like something else, which can be fun. Like, some of the clues are sometimes related. Sometimes the words that you give as clues have different meanings, so you can interpret it different ways. And if it's with all 3 of them, then it makes sense. But like if you take out one and put in something else, then it seems like something completely different. So it's kind of fun thinking of glitches, and it's also fun trying to think of clues that can't really be glitched. Like how can we get it so that all of these combinations will lead them to the right answer? So yeah, it was fun, but everyone has to guess their evidence like 1 at a time each round, which kind of got long because we had 7 players playing. So I think it would be better with maybe like a 4-player game. And then a couple of new games with my kids. I played Millie Delivers the Mail, which is a dexterity/memory game. So I actually played an easier game mode, which doesn't have memory, but you have a cow that's delivering mail parcels to chickens. And so there's chicken tiles that have different chicken illustrations on them that are usually turned face down, but we had them turned face up. You draw a tile that shows the chicken that you want to deliver the mail to and a mail package, which is like little wooden blocks that you put on top of the cow. And then you move the cow along the table without letting the block fall to the chicken that you're trying to deliver to. So with the memory game, you do it to one of the face down ones and see if it's the chicken, and then if it's not, you don't get to deliver it. But we just played it with all face up, and so my kid had fun delivering the mail and be like, yay, it's delivered. So yeah, that was fun. I also played Co-op Train Game, which I mentioned last time because I played it solo, but I played it with one of my kids who loves trains. So Co-op Train Game is a co-op train game. It's free print and play, and you're picking up and delivering items to their locations. So, but my kid really got into it. He said he was like Ashima, which is one of the trains from Thomas and Friends, and I was Thomas, and so we were like going around, and when he would move on the track, he would go tick, 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 make train noises. I would like have to remind him that we're trying to actually pick up these things and deliver them to the locations, because otherwise he was just like going on the tracks on his turn. He'd roll the die and then go. And I'm like, hey, we want to move this here. We want like this to be delivered there. And so then he did actually deliver it after I reminded him. So that was neat. And also a couple games that aren't new to our kids. We played again. We played First Orchard, which is a cooperative game where you're picking different colors of fruit and putting them into the basket. You roll a die with a color and put it in the basket. And then Storytime Chess, which teaches chess through stories, which I made a video overview of it recently, so you can watch that. But I think I played the king, maybe the pawns again with one of my kids, and he was like doing a lot better now than like last time he played. So that's cool that he's learning the chess moves and doing better at like making a move and then taking his hand off and being done with that move and then like making another move. It's actually a legal chess move, so that was cool. So those are all the games I played in August. My favorite new to me game might be Glitch Squad, because I like those word party games with the doing clues and stuff, but KuZOOkA was also pretty fun. But yeah, I think Glitch Squad just because I like that type of game more. Although I think I would like it best at 4 players. So it's like a favorite theoretical new to me game, because I think my experience with 7 players, I think, that was too much. And my favorite not new to me game was Letters from Whitechapel, which is one of my favorite games of all time, which is why it's my favorite not new to me game. But yes, I still like it, so that's good. And now that we know how to play it correctly, yeah, that'll be good. Let me know in the comments what you played in August and what your favorite games were. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe and watch more videos. And if you want, you can support us on Ko-fi. Thanks for watching Board Game Blitz. Bye!